I was lucky enough to have Mikayla as a student for a full year in my leadership program, but when I came to Clarkston in 2008, her class would have been the freshman class that I kind of started with. And I was coaching basketball at the time, and she was friends with this large group of kids that I had on my basketball team. So I was kind of introduced to her through basketball, and then again through softball, because some of her best friends actually played softball for me as well. And I think one of the things that I noticed about her was that she just had this unique way of identifying with every group. She loved to have fun. She was just a fun individual who cared for other people. And I think that that's kind of what drew others towards her and kind of made her a unique individual in the fact that she was friends with so many people.
Thank you so much for being here this morning. It was actually a morning somewhat like this when I was out running, and I had signed up for the Gazelle Girl Half Marathon months ago. In the morning that I was running, it kind of hit me as I was turning back towards my house that I wanted to do something bigger, and I wanted to honor Mikayla's legacy. After having Mikayla as a student and being fortunate enough to have Leah as a student for the past 3 years, I said, you know what? I want this young lady's legacy to carry on. And for me, that was something that I talked about with my leadership kids for the past 8 years, is the importance of legacy and being remembered for the person that you are. And because she was such a bright light in everybody's lives, and she truly touched everybody in a way that not many kids do, I guess, is the best way to say it. But there's just something about her, this charismatic, loving nature that just attracted so many individuals. She had a passion for life. And so my thought was, how can we do this? So immediately I run home, and my face was covered in tears, and I text Mr. Haygood, Nick Haygood, Mr. Isley, Ryan Isley, John Dralis, and Chris Broski. And I said, I have an idea, but I don't really know how to make it happen. And I was fortunate enough to have these amazing colleagues and friends surround me to put together what you see here today, just the start of what you're going to see over the next 22 hours.
Usually in an event like this, you see everybody that organized and volunteered and took place with it, that they would be at the event, but that's not the case here. We have people on standby right now in downtown Clarkston and Springfield Plains Elementary, eventually to Radley Lake Road, downtown Fenton, Linden, Byron, all the way out to Grand Rapids and every place in between, in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere. There are 200 plus people, 200 plus members of Team Mick that put this event on to coordinate a 126-mile relay with 100 plus runners over the next 22 hours, spreading out over 6 counties for one beautiful soul to honor her and her legacy. And what impact she's had in these last 22 years of her life and what a difference she's made in this world, we're going to continue to have that impact grow over the next several years. That's our goal. We would like to commemorate this event with a walk around the track for everybody that wants to get involved. So, anybody that wants to, you could be a runner as well. We're going to start right here to begin with. All I ask with this baton, runners and everybody else, that it does not get dropped. It's going from start to finish. It's getting passed off at the end to Amy Quayle, Kathy and John, and everybody else in Grand Rapids tomorrow morning. This does not get dropped. Everybody is encouraged to do the walk. Let's get it going. Away we go. Go that way, yeah. Walk.
I've been a part of sports teams, I've been part of runs, I've been part of relays and other types of races, and I've never had the feeling that I've had during that 22-hour span, and I also sensed it from everybody else, over 100 different runners involved in the vehicle support people. I saw people kind of raising their awareness and their heightened sense of, I will say, like anxiety, but in a good way. Like nobody wanted to screw up. And it was this bigger cause, this bigger deal and purpose that was far greater reaching than what any individual had, that I want to make sure I don't screw up my part. I will not be the one mistake in this whole thing. And throughout, I saw people texting me and saying, like, I'm so nervous. And it made me just kind of smiling, knowing like they didn't want to do any wrong. And because of that, it was the event that it was.
This speaks so much and so highly of the person that she was. When you look at all of the people that wanted to participate or rally behind the family or be a part of this event, I think it speaks volumes of the person that she was. You know, in 22 years, she managed to make connections internationally, across the United States, within all these different subgroups, to create such a love and such a passion for the things that she was doing, but she made you feel important. I think that reached so many different generations, and it spanned so many different directions.
People that knew Mikayla very, very, very well, all the way to people that had never met her before. This is something that's such a big deal to us as Clarkston, and as to this specific family, and even more so to carry on this legacy for this one person.
She wanted to be the person that she was, but I think in the words of my oldest son, I should say, is you don't be great like someone else, you want to be great the way you are. And she was great the way she was. And she really reached out to so many different people, which I think speaks to the volumes of people that we had that want to participate in this. You know, they want to honor her legacy because she had a way of making you feel like you were important. And that very rarely happens. You know, she just had this soul that really embodied the importance of being a good individual and a good person and loving those around you.